So welcome to the channel. I've been thinking about for quite a while posting this video, making this video, because recently I had my cholesterol tested. The results came back and it's not quite what I wanted it to be. I really love baking. I love baking cakes, pastries, breads, croissant, any kind of baked goods. And I used to bake 2 to 3 times a week. Now, because of this cholesterol test, I don't bake at all, basically, unfortunately. So that sort of made me a little bit sad. And not that I love baking, but I really like, obviously, eating those cakes and pastries and croissants and baked goods. I got to thinking, since I haven't been baking at all since the holidays, I got to thinking, I really want to bake something, but I don't want anything with butter in it. But obviously, majority of cakes and muffins, banana breads and things like that has butter in them. I got to thinking that what can I substitute for butter? And if you guys watched my previous video, a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video about avocado versus butter. And then you guys know that you can actually substitute avocado for butter in a 1-to-1 substitution. But what if you want to just take any recipe you want, but you have a craving for any kind of muffins, cakes, with some fruit or anything like that? Can I make it just basically swap out the butter? Can I? And the answer is yes. So obviously there are things like puff pastry or croissant. I don't recommend using avocado in place of butter, but in some of the cakes where you just mix with the mixer or standing mixer and you put some fruit in them or a banana bread type of thing, you can actually substitute avocado for butter. Basically, this is just a recipe I found and I just substituted the butter. This recipe is, by the way, from one of my favorite bakers, Dory Greenspan. I love her. She's wonderful. I really love anything and everything she makes. I have her book, and that is the cake we're gonna make today. And you guys can see that really there is nothing to it. And if you have any craving for any kind of cakes or sweets, you can try to substitute and make this yourself. So in this recipe, I'm going to substitute all the white sugar for agave. I usually prefer to substitute white sugar for agave. It has a lower glycemic index than sugar, so it kind of prevents all those blood sugar spikes what sugar will cause. Okay guys, so first things first, I am going to mix my flour. This is all-purpose flour with my baking powder, baking soda, and salt. What I'm gonna just kind of pour in here. And I'm just gonna tiny whisk it and then just get it ready for the wet ingredients. So for right now, this is all we're going to do with the dry ingredients. So again, just mix up all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. Okay. So now I'm gonna take care of the wet ingredients. So I'm gonna take my bowl and I'm gonna add my avocado. So this is replacing 1 stick of butter here, this much avocado. Okay, this is 113 grams, 8 tablespoons. Okay, so I'm gonna add it to my bowl. As you guys can see, this is really avocado. This is green, this is avocado. Okay, so I put this in a food processor. I kind of whipped it up so it's sort of like a paste, almost like the room temperature butter consistency. So next, I'm gonna add my agave. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix my agave and avocado, mix it real well. Okay, so after this, that we mixed our avocado and agave, I'm gonna add our vanilla and 1 whole egg. Okay, so first let's mix the vanilla a little bit. Okay, so after the vanilla, we're gonna add 1 whole egg into the mixture and continue mixing. already smells amazing from the vanilla. Okay, so now that we mixed up our wet ingredients, we are going to add half of the flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt mixture, i.e. the dry ingredients. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put half of it in here. Okay, so that's about half. Okay, so now we're gonna continue mixing this on very low speed, and we're gonna mix it just until the flour gets incorporated. So not too crazy, just when you don't see any more dry bits and pieces of the flour, okay? Very low speed. Okay, so after we added half of our dry ingredient, now I'm going to add the buttermilk to the mix. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour this in. So now we are going to mix this just until the liquid is sort of incorporated into the batter, okay? Low speed. Okay, so after we incorporated our buttermilk, we're gonna add the second half of the dry ingredients. So basically our flour mixture. I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape it all in there. And what we are going to do, we're just gonna mix it. If we did everything right, we're supposed to get a fairly thick batter. So let's begin. We'll continue. Okay, so now that we incorporated all our ingredients, all the dry and wet ingredients, you guys can see this batter is fairly thick. So that means that we've done our job right. Oh, I'm just gonna give it another stir, just make sure that it's all incorporated well. The batter feels pretty thick, which means we've done our job right. It's supposed to feel like this, and you know, I can assure you it smells wonderful from the vanilla, and it feels like what it's supposed to actually, if you know, if you were to use butter. So I'm quite happy with the end result basically, and as you guys can see, it looks green, but don't let that deter you. You know, the color will change as we are going to put this in the oven. So it feels pretty good. It definitely feels what it's supposed to. Okay, so now since we are done with our batter, we're gonna scrape it into our baking pan. So I have a 9-inch pan here, which are oiled and floured. So now we are going to scrape our batter into this. This is a 9-inch pan I have here. Okay, so now I have all my batter in here. You guys kind of have to smooth it in there, which is gonna take a little work because again, this is a little bit thick, but that's a good thing. That's what we need. That's what we should have. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna try to smooth it in here all around, okay? Turn it and smooth it. Okay, so now since we moved our cake batter into our pan, now we're gonna add our blueberries. So again, guys, with this recipe, you can add any kind of fruit. It depends which season you are making this cake in. So for example, if you make it in summertime, you can add peaches and plums. If you're doing it in the springtime, you can add all the spring berries, blueberry, blackberry, strawberry, raspberry, all the berries. If you are baking this in the fall, you can add apples or pears. And so right now, I'm gonna use some blueberries. Okay, so I'm gonna add our blueberries. 400 grams of blueberries here, a lot, but and start rising. It's actually okay, so now we added our blueberries and we are ready to bake. So what we are going to do, we're gonna put it in the oven and we're gonna bake our cake for 35 to 40 minutes. Now, you have to check it with the cake tester and make sure that when you test it in the middle, it comes out clean. If it comes out clean, you just remove it from the oven. If not, add a couple of minutes to it. So again, we're gonna move it in an oven and bake it for 35 to 40 minutes on 350. Okay, so now time is up. So now we're gonna cake test it and see if it's ready. So now after we removed it from the oven, we're gonna wait 5 minutes and then we're gonna remove it from the pan. Okay, so now I removed the cake from the baking pan and now we're gonna cut into it and check out the end result. Check out the inside, the crumb, the softness, all those things. Okay, so let's cut into it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like I cut it a little bit too early. It's still fairly soft. But let me just show you the end result. Let me show you the other side. It's fluffy, it's soft, it's buttery, it smells wonderful. It looks just like you would have gotten with butter if you would have used butter. It looks just like regular cake if you would have used butter in it. So I know the blueberries bled into it a little bit, but you guys can see that this is a wonderful, soft, fluffy cracker cake. Well, guys, there you have it. This is our avocado and agave cake, blueberry cake. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like this cake and you like the result and you want to see more healthy avocado cake recipes, please hit the subscribe button. I am so excited that I discovered this method and it actually works. I found this. Well, guys, there you have it. This is our avocado and agave cake, blueberry cake. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like this cake and you like the result and you want to see more healthy avocado cake recipes, please hit the subscribe button. I am so excited that I discovered this method and it actually works. And you actually got something, but you can substitute and you can have your cake and eat it too. I'm excited that I can have my cake and eat it too. And I can't wait to continue this series and show you guys other things, other baked goods. So please continue watching. Please subscribe and be safe. See you next time. Bye bye.